So the good news is that we actually finished with a green candle yesterday in terms of SHIB. The bad news is we started off today doing the exact thing that we've done every single one of these days. We're seeing some retracement. We're retesting some lows of the early part of the week, and hopefully this holds up. We'll see what happens as the day progresses, but this is all taking place because of a move that's happening because of Ethereum, and I'll show this to you guys. And yet, despite Ethereum making this move that the market just absolutely despises and hates right now, it's very important to note the strength that we are seeing versus Ethereum. And we'll talk about that. I do want to highlight just a few other things, a couple things we need to pay attention to here in the close of the week. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, today's a great day. Today's a great daily candle. No, it's red. It's ugly. We're down 2.45% at the time of filming this video. Obviously, don't like seeing that. But what I will say is it's very promising to see SHIB down less than Pepe, down less than Doge, down less than most assets in the crypto space. Many things right now are down 3, 4, 5%. You guys can see Doge down 4.12%. You guys can see Pepe down 2.63%. So SHIB is actually holding up pretty well. And this is what we've seen on a lot of these drops as of late, as SHIB has had this kind of continued resilience. It hasn't been dropping as much as other memes, but unfortunately, because of where we're at in terms of price compared to liquidity and purchasing concentration of holders, like areas where the highest concentration of accumulation has taken place, SHIB also hasn't been able to make as aggressive surges as some of these other assets too. But what I will say here is, again, we basically tested the lows of the week. We're testing some lows that we hit back here on September 1st, back here on August 25th. And it's nice to see SHIB still holding up versus this low that we set all the way back here on August 2nd. So hopefully that continues to be the case as the day progresses. I will say the reason that the market is acting the way it is Ethereum has made this breach of 4,100. It's something we haven't seen since all the way back in the early part of August. So this Ethereum weakness is not something that altcoins like, and it's something that they don't take lightly. That's why you're kind of seeing this big reaction around the crypto space. Many assets are not holding up well right now as ETH is making this move down. But I think it's very important and worth noting that many assets versus Ethereum over the past month and a half or so have been setting some nice ascending charts. In fact, SHIB versus ETH, like we were talking about, and I don't want to touch on this 2 days in a row, but you guys can see that SHIB actually is now 4 straight days green versus Ethereum. This is a very distinct trend that is starting to move up and to the right. Again, we talked about this inverse head and shoulders building here, so hopefully we can get this push through this 50-day moving average and start to attack some levels we haven't seen in a while. But it's like I talked about in my ADA video earlier today. Maybe this is where we again get our phase 3 confirmation. It seems like we're in that point now where assets are outpacing Ethereum, especially blue chip assets. And, maybe that leads us to some exciting movement here again as we close this month and we get into the early part of October, Q4, the time that we're waiting for, the time where the market just tends to go on some rip-roaring, exciting runs. Now, what I will say here is BTC dominance is fighting its 50-day moving average right now. Would love to see a rejection off of that. We really don't want to go back up to our 100-day. Theoretically, we could, but we just don't want to see that. We want to see alts just holding strength. I will say if BTC right now, if you guys missed my ADA video earlier today, we are talking about an inverse head and shoulders that's building right here. It looks like we're starting to, again, round out and build out that right shoulder. Hopefully this can lead us to an aggressive move in terms of BTC. We've bottomed across most charts in terms of daily stochastic RSI. And maybe that's where, again, where we see our bounce. SHIB has gone flat right down here at the bottom. Okay. Last time we did this was all the way back here in the August pivot. That was the last time we were this low. The next most recent time, I guess, was right here. Where was that? End of May, where we had a nice surge off of that. We got pretty close back here in June, which was our bottom. So, that's kind of where we're at right now. It sucks that we're just dealing with this red. There's a lot of just uneasiness in the market, and maybe that eases as the day progresses. We'll see what happens when U.S. money wakes up. We're still very close again to this technical alt season. We need to get back above the 75, guys. That's kind of where we're at. So we did have BTC buying on the institutional side. We had Ethereum selling on the institutional side. So as long as today just, apart from starting off on an ugly red note, as long as it turns into kind of a meh day, I think we're just fine, but we'll see what happens. I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.